Okay, so in this tutorial I'm just going to run through the different element data types very briefly. They all work the same way in terms of the dialog boxes and that kind of thing, so there's no need to spend too much time on them, but we've got separating elements, surface finishes, mitigation measures, and ventilation elements that we can add data into. Let's just look at separating elements, for example. It's the same kind of dialog box that you get when you're using the noise sources. You click add element to add in a new separating element. You can give it a reference and description and a location. All of those fields can be sent to the output when you're printing your schedules or calculation sheets afterwards. Again, you can type in the information manually if you want to, or you can select it from the database. So if we let's say we want a cavity masonry wall, for example, we can just type that in there and it will load in those figures for us. The other information that you have with a separating element is you can put in some things about the density and Young's modulus and Poisson's ratio if you want to, and you can also put in the impact levels if you happen to have that data for the same construction type. The surface finishes are pretty much the same database functionality. The details there are things like flow resistivity, porosity, and tortuosity if you wanted to put those figures in for more kind of theoretical calcs that you might do. The mitigation measures are fairly straightforward. You have the option with mitigation measures of plugging in a pressure drop that you can calculate on the canvas and plug into it, so you can look at this in this window here, but you can't edit it. Your pressure drop figure will actually come from the canvas and be plugged into your mitigation measure component. And then finally we've got ventilation elements, which again work the same way. Database functionality there to recall database elements. Otherwise the fields are pretty much the same as elsewhere. As you can see on here, there's DNEW is shown as the kind of default single figure that it will show you based on the spectrum that you write in. You can choose whether to show those types of single figures in the program settings. On the default single figures, you can tell it to show you, for example, RW or STC for a separating element, or LW or C or CTR or whatever. For the absorption, you can have alpha W absorption class, noise reduction coefficient or sound absorption average, TMF for reverberation times, and then DNEW for ventilation elements. So that's where you select which of those you want to see.